So one of the big questions that comes to us a lot is, how will the DBA boost my career? It can boost your career and your life in a number of ways. I'm going to give you guys 3 main ways that I think it's really important. So the first one would be cognitively. There's a cognitive boost basically because you think about things differently when you do a DBA, when you work on a doctorate in general. The second kind of boost would be professional. That's the one people are often interested in for a DBA, and it's an important one because once you do a doctorate, you do gain legitimacy in your field. You also work on a relatively narrow scope of research, so you are the expert in the room. So you gain legitimacy and expertise amongst peers, and you also legitimize yourself in terms of being the person who really does know more about that topic than others. And then thirdly, I would say on a personal level, it's really interesting to do a doctorate for anyone thinking about it because you become a model in your community for other people to emulate, first of all. Another thing that happens is that simply you have a better self-efficacy perception, as we call it, and that means that you have a perception of your ability to achieve and to go ahead and reach your goals and objectives in a much stronger way. So definitely, is it only for academics? No, it's actually for a mixture. Most people who do the DBA are people who are from corporate or organizational life, whether it be profit or nonprofit sectors. So no, it's definitely for people. We translate what academic work is for practitioners, often in business or organizations where they need managerial knowledge in a very focused field. And definitely, sometimes I encourage people to think away from their field, because when you're focused in a certain So I have someone right now who's he was a CEO and he's working on HR topics. He's working on leadership and negative leadership. And he was happy to kind of get away from what he normally did because he feels like he would have been biased, which is very, very possible. So I kind of tell people, if you're going to be working directly in your field and you're collecting data from people who could be stakeholders in your organization, it can be a little complicated for you to be impartial. So I usually tell people, think about maybe something that you've always thought about and noticed, but it's not directly linked to your immediate work environment. So I think really we're looking for a diversity of people. We like to have international profiles, people who have international experience and people who are interculturally sensitive, because it's such a mix. You need people who really get what it means to go from point A to point B and manage the difference there. And also we want people who are, I think, different, so they stand out, and maybe they've always felt like they were a little bit of an outlier in their field, and they're looking for a community of people where they can talk about the questions they have. And the DBA profile, when it's mixed and international and curious, it makes for a very rich cohort experience. I always tell people research is like meditation because you are with yourself. Yes, it can be lonely, but it can also be very beautiful because you get to go into a flow of thinking about something, writing about something, and you are really moving in a different place when you do that. When you're not solving problems, you're not in that pragmatic work environment.